getting the most from your stand-up desk. So on this video, I'm gonna be talking about the stand-up desk and showing you strategies and tips on how to get the most out of using it. Hey guys, it's Dr. Kresimir here. I'm a chiropractor from London, Ontario, Canada. I help people live extraordinary lives through the power of structural chiropractic care and life by design principles. Before we get into the video, please like, share, and subscribe. It is completely free for you, but it's really important to me and to us to know that we are creating content that is valuable. And if you didn't find it valuable, I would love to know why, so I can help create it. Thankfully, things like the stand-up desk are around. The whole purpose of the stand-up desk is we spend far too much time, in this position where our head goes forward, our upper back rounds, and then what happens is when our upper back rounds, our shoulders internally rotate. It's creating a tremendous amount of strain, and the data on and I hate saying the dangers of sitting because it's just a position, not your whole life is not going to improve because now instead of sitting for hours a day, you're standing hours a day. Initially, things will improve because you're undoing some of the postural stress that you've been under, but long-term what we'll find is other problems develop. And the reason I'm saying that is because we shouldn't be in one position for an extended period of time. We're meant to move, right? Our body loves to move, our joints love to move, we love changing positions, we love being dynamic, which is something that I'll talk about in this video. So really, the most important thing, if you just got, I'm going to do a better job of moving from this video, I think I've already done my job. And moving for things like when you have phone conversations, get up and pace around. Try to come up with any excuse when you're not stuck in one position, your body is moving, because that's the preference for your body. Now, with that being said, I do think that a stand-up desk is tremendously better than sitting, provided you know how to use the desk the best. And what I've done is I've set up my front desk here, where we have our supplements and stuff in the office, like a standing desk, so I can show you what I mean. The biggest issue I have is, and I'll move the camera, hopefully I'll set it up in a way that you can see me, or at least my lower body. Hopefully you can still hear me. So just because we're standing now doesn't afford us the luxury of being loose or poor posture when we're standing. And I see people doing this in lineups all the time. You're waiting for something, and I do it too, by the way, so I'm just as guilty. But if you're waiting in line, we do the shift, and then we do the shift to the other thing. And what that means is the muscles that are responsible for our posture and for holding our structure together, they are loose. So when you're standing at a stand-up desk, what I want you to think of is that there's poles going down your legs, right? So if I rotate the poles, what will happen is my feet will rotate, I can rotate my feet through these poles. And now what I want to do is I want to get my feet firm into the ground, and I want to pretend like I'm rotating both of the poles out this way, but with my feet on the ground. And when I do that, what happens is my glutes tighten, and my pelvis gets level and it gets structurally sound. So I don't have a tendency to do this. I'm firm. And this is your warrior position, right? My core is now braced, my glutes are now tight, and I'm in this position where I should be able to stand comfortably for an extended period of time. And of course, I can stand in this position, and you can stand in this position too, for a long period of time with no pain. The problem with that is, when you're at a stand-up desk, you're at a stand-up desk to do work. It's really hard to remember, especially if you're learning that warrior position, it's hard to learn that position and stay concentrated on your work. So, that's what has to happen. You have to learn how to stand properly. So if you're noticing low back pain when you're standing anywhere, whether it's in line, getting groceries, waiting to at a concession, whatever it is, if you're noticing back pain, you need to work on your standing. The other thing, and this is why bars have this little stool. A really simple thing to do that can help take some of the load off your back is just to have a stool underneath to put your foot up, and what that does is that takes the extension load out of your back, and you can continue to be comfortable while you're standing and still working. And of course, you can always switch positions, and then continue to work. So humans do much better standing, and stand-up desks are a great tool to have. But just because you're now at a stand-up desk does not negate what your body actually needs. So your body needs to be able to move. So spend as much time moving. Try to incorporate as much movement as you can. I know a lot of us, I used the example before, I know a lot of us are on conference calls, for example. If you can move around while you're having them, like pacing or walking. I think I heard Kelly Starrett, which is a physical therapist, and don't quote me on this one because I don't know if it's 100% accurate or not, talk about how if you were to just walk while you had, if the average person were to walk when they were having their average daily meetings, they would end up walking 33 marathons a year or something crazy like that. So move. Number 2 is learning how to stand properly and engaging. It always comes back to engaging the core muscles of your spine. There really is no length of time that you should or you shouldn't stand for. You should be able to stand a long period of time if those muscles are engaged and if you don't have that loose posture. And a really simple tip is to use I just used a plastic bucket that I found, staying in the DIY mindset. I used a plastic bucket that we actually take the laundry home when we wash it in. So that was my standing desk. So you don't have to spend a lot of money with this stuff. There's more than enough stuff around your house to be able to do it. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. I'd love to help if I can. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.